Welcome back to Bazaar Morning Call and hope you're having a good morning. Well, let's address the top story with regard to cement. We have Rajesh, Ravi, Institutional Research Analyst, Cement at HDFC Securities, joins us on the show. Hi, Rajesh. Well, it's been a bit of a busy morning for all those who track cement. So give us a couple of details first. Legally, do you think the cement companies have a solid legal case, to ultimately go to the courtrooms and maybe pull back some of the money that is due to them?
Hi, good morning, Nigel. On this development, this Revocation Act, which has been, passed by the West Bengal government. Now, if you see the fine prints, whereby they have mentioned that starting 1993 till 2013, the erstwhile government, 8 incentive scheme which they had initiated during those periods, they have revoked all the outstanding benefits as well as accrual benefit with a retrospective effect. Now, this is, whatever we understand is the first time what we have seen. Nothing of this sort has been done ever by any state governments, whereby, cancellation of prospective incentives, yes, that has been understood, but retrospectively, all your outstanding, everything goes for a toss. This is first time. The reason what they mentioned is the financial stress on books. Now, that is where cement companies, among other industries, would be impacted. So in cement, if you look at, West Bengal is a grinding, most of the companies have grinding units in West Bengal, close to 30 million ton. And if you look at major companies which are present, UltraTech, around 5 to 6 million ton. Ambuja would be expanding capacity to 8 to 10 million tons, major expansions going on. Sri Cement is there with one grinding unit. You have Dalmia, which is...
So Rajesh, just coming across to you, I think the number that we got, I think consumptions in that vicinity of around 25 to 30 million ton. I think capacity should be around 40 million ton, very, very roughly. Now, the interactions that I have had, with some corporates, some of them have stated that we were not expecting these receivables only to come about. And some of them were a little bit optimistic. And some have also given some kind of provision. So according to what you are working with, which are the companies that had completely written off the receivables and which are those that were expecting that they'll get some part of the receivables?
So, so what is happening, Nuvoco, for example, out of 700 crore outstanding, which they had written off close to 400 odd crore and 300 crore, which they were expecting to receive. Dalmia, for example, they had won the case and they were expecting the money to come forward. Incrementally, similarly, Birla Corp was expecting some money to flow in and there was some outstanding which they were looking forward at some point in time the government may release. So many of these companies amounting between 300 to 400 crore, they were expecting that this money will be at some point in time will be released. But on a caution basis, most of the cement companies have stopped accumulating the incremental incentives in the last few years. Even companies cement and all, not only in West Bengal, even for Odisha, whatever new capex which people are doing in these states, they are not factoring in incentives. They have mentioned that we will be accruing them on a cash basis. Whenever we are receiving those money, we'll be accruing. So, from a going concern basis, none of the cement, whatever we understand, no cement companies are accruing incentives on their books. And yes, one-time write-off against this, totally unexpected move by the government is whereby they would be provisioning. And the legal angle, as you said, obviously most corporates are talking about and they have mentioned that they will explore legalities, if they have a case to get this reviewed.
Got it. All right, Rajesh, very quickly before we let you go. So as you said, some of these companies, they were bracing for this sort of impact. They said, we rather not expect it. If we get it, then at least there'll be some cash that comes back. But for the time being, they were working with, maybe they don't receive it. Got it. Now, there could be a knee-jerk reaction today. If yes, would you advise buying into the stock since, as it is, you're saying in the model itself, it wasn't really being factored in? And also, if you could tell us, what are your top 2 picks in the cement space? We'll wind down the conversation on that.
Right. So, obviously, if any knee-jerk reactions for companies like Dalmia, Birla Corp, mostly these 2 companies, Nuvoco, for say, this would be a knee-jerk reaction for sure for short time. And this cannot be a long-drawn impact on the earnings. So, and coming in terms of overall, if you look at the south, prices have recovered around 7 to 10% Q on Q. East also, because of late price hike, there is an improvement in realization in Q1. So some of these impact will be, not not sustain and stock should recover here on. And among our top pick, we continue to like UltraTech in the large cap space, and in mid cap space, we would recommend going with JK Lakshmi and JK Cement.
Got it. Thanks, Rajesh, for joining in and filling us in with all those details. So, guys, as Rajesh said, part of the cement companies were not expecting this money to come in. It's a little bit of a negative, but UltraTech and the JK twins is what he likes out there. But I think more than anything, the West Bengal investment, people are looking to put money. They'll get a little bit jittery. And, it'll impact.
But this was, I mean, in a nutshell, this was amount that they were hoping at some point to get.
Yes.
It's not being taken away from them right now.
No. So, like, for example, just to close the conversation on this, you have Novoco that had 700 crores of outstanding, but they already wrote off close to 400 crores. Yeah. So, the asset is not expecting. What was remaining is 300 crores, which in the due course, if they received it, great. If they didn't receive it, they were anyway going to write off. But 30 million tons is what the rough consumption is in West Bengal itself. I think future investments will get impacted for sure.
All right, absolutely. Well, that's cement. Let's talk